Forum 2026. It's a national dialogue on advocacy, awareness, and access for sustainable menstrual hygiene. So this forum is just an initiative by Suharth Foundation with a vision to empower girls and women through awareness, access, and such. Round of applause. I would request you to give a huge round of applause for Hiteshi and all the team who has helped us to gather together. So thank you very much. So any occasion, we always start as an Indian tradition, lighting of the lamp that symbolizes the removal of darkness and building of knowledge and awareness.
Of honors and our esteemed speakers, our keynote speakers, we on the stage, we see everybody is a special guest. Nobody is not special. That is the reason we have kept all same chairs. The sofas which you see are only for the panels. Everybody is equally special and equally important for us. So thank you so much for joining us today. And I request the core committee members and the keynote speakers to please come and we will light the lamp and start the program. That is why policymakers are here today, so that we ensure that we make Telangana a menstrual waste-free state and then India a menstrual-free waste country, so that no girl leaves school because of not having a single pad. We aim to ensure a country, we aim to ensure a movement that is not only ensuring dignity, that is not only ensuring health, but also ensuring sustainability. So with that note, I would like to start the event, and I request our chief guest, Jayesh, to speak few words.
Much more stakeholders for this planet than anyone else, and it is our responsibility, our collective responsibility to make everything, every part of their life meaningful, relevant, without any obstacle, without any difficulty, and therefore it's everyone's issue in that sense. Now, when I say that this problem has and this issue has multiple dimensions, there are of course certain things which an NGO like Suharth Shakthi Foundation can do. There are certain other things which other can do, but I guess the right role at this point in time to become an aggregator, to do something which brings everyone together. So who are the important players, what responsibility can they really perform? So one of course is awareness, and particularly in the communities and societies where there is not much of an openness. In fact, it's a very nice coincidence that we are discussing this topic here in Hyderabad today, because exactly a day ago, yesterday, I was in Calcutta. There was a sports conclave, and lots of sports women were there, and one panel actually was created for them when they speak about their health issues. And it's on record. One of the participants in the yesterday's conclave in Calcutta on sports was the former Indian hockey team captain, women's hockey captain Rani Rampal. And she was narrating her experience that she comes from a rural background, and obviously in Haryana, that part of that month confronts you. You can be a working professional, you can be a teacher, you can be a software professional, you can be anyone. And definitely there is some element of discomfort during those days. So how do you make the workplace more sensitive so that maybe you are allowed to be home early, you are allowed to work from home, certain other facilities are given to you, and so on and so forth. So as I said, this issue has multiple dimensions: awareness, advocacy, manufacturing, supply, safe disposal, workplace readiness and sensitivity about all these things. And I won't say that society has not changed at all. Possibly what used to happen 30 years ago, 40 years ago is all history now. But I won't say that everything is rosy. We live in a perfect society, so there's a lot to do. And therefore, when organizations like the Suharth Shakthi Foundation come forward to tackle this issue head on without any stigma, with actually a sense of pride, it really gladdens my heart. And more than anything else, I see so much of support and so much of encouragement to Eesha and her colleagues. All of you have come forward. I'd like to personally convey my gratitude to Eesha Garu. She has agreed to be the face of this campaign. So, మీకు కూడా చాలా కృతజ్ఞత. అండ్ మరి ఒకసారి ఇలాంటి మంచి కార్యక్రమాన్ని ప్రోత్సహించడానికి చాలా అవసరం ఉంది. అటువంటి డోర్ మాటలతో ప్రోత్సాహం ఇవ్వడమే కాకుండా దాంట్లో ప్రత్యేకంగా ముందుకు వచ్చి ఏదైనా చోట్ల చేసేది ఉంటే అది కూడా మీరు సో if you want us to do something concrete, if you want to create disposal facilities, if you want to get permission to conduct outreach programs in schools or bastis, etc., if you want community halls or the GHMC, etc., to be used for this purpose, wherever you think we can help you advance your work, please feel free to reach out to us, and good wishes to all of you. Thank you very much for your time. My apologies that I can't be here for very long, but do reach out to me. You have my contact details. Let me know if you.
Millions of girls still miss school every month. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack courage, but because they lack access to something so basic, so essential, a sanitary pad. In rural villages, in tribal belts, in urban slums, silence, shame and lack of awareness continue to steal dreams before they even begin. From one small step, one awareness session, one distribution drive, one belief, Suharth Foundation began a journey to restore the
special guest of honor, Abhinasha Prisman, to address with her viewers. Madam has been an IPS of 1994 Telangana cadre. Presently, she is a director with RPVVR Telangana Police Academy and in charge DGP training. Later, she went on deputation to Uttarakhand and worked as a DIG in law and order and also in security. She has also served in UNICEF from 2010 to 2015.
Of the month, you are in discomfort. The first 2 to 3 days of those week is severe and acute discomfort for at least 60% of the women. As doctors are sitting here, I'm sure they will say dysmenorrhea and all sorts of problems, cramps, hot bottles and soft ka pani and ajwain ka pani, and in my childhood there was a medicine called safi, bottles and bottles of safi. Yeah? And nothing helped apart from curling into a bed with a hot water bottle and taking ibuprofen. Oh my God. It is like the end of the world. It's like the end of the world. But what do you do? You know it's natural and it's happened, but what do you do? So, for and we are older women, but for younger girls it's even more difficult. So to give younger girls that confidence to be able to say, no, this is a part of my life and I can handle it. If I need to take leave from school or from work, I can take it. And if I am confident that I can go in a sanitary way to school and not get a disease out of it because of unsanitary practices. And as Jayesh sir had said, the other issue is landfill. Where do you, now that we all have disposable pads, what do you do, how do you dispose it? And there are very good, in hospitals you have very effective biomedical waste disposal, but not all of us can afford it at home. So there has to be some sustainable practice which is developed out of how to dispose disposable pads and how to encourage reusable products and which are healthy and which are certified to be hygienic. And so again, it's a very angstful moment for me because I have suffered through 40 years of this pain, thankfully no more. And believe me, after menopause I feel liberated because no more planning around those 5 days. I can just get up and go anywhere. So yeah, it's very heartfelt, and I want to warmly congratulate you for taking up this initiative and moving forward. And we have to bring everyone on the table because women might talk about it in closed doors, but in open forums, if it is not discussed, the taboo does not get removed. So all the best.
For sharing those inspiring words. I'm sure every woman goes through that. The pain and the experience can differ from person to person, as the menstruation also differ from person to person, the flow and everything, as you were saying. And I'm so glad that you are being a part of this forum today, because we are empowering not only women, we are empowering the nation. Because when one girl goes back to school, she goes back to make her own life, she goes back to make her own choices and her own future. And when a woman builds a future, we know what she does. We know the power she holds. And we know we have these powerful ladies, all of you powerful ladies here. Yeah, no offense to the men in the room, but yeah, all the powerful ladies with all the pain we go through. And definitely you have to be a lady, a woman to really experience that. No matter of words, in the face of the campaign, so everybody knows that. To officially do that, we would be honored to invite Eesha Rebba on the stage. Eesha Rebba Garu, please clap the end of
Hi. Namaste everyone, respected dignitaries, honorable guests and all the wonderful people who gathered here today. I'm so happy to see so many men here. Thank you for coming. And I'm privileged to stand here as the face of Suharth Shakthi campaign, a movement that is not just about awareness but about dignity, equality and basic rights of every woman and every girl. Having been part of various other social awareness programs, I feel this movement by the Suharth Foundation will surely be unique. I was introduced to Suharth from Geetha auntie. I'm really grateful for her that, because today I stand here not just to promote organic pads but also to address the issues of hygiene and most importantly to give women the courage to speak about the many inconveniences they face during menstruation. I remember how hesitant my sisters and I were when we speak about our discomforts. Initially we had to use cloth because my mother would insist to wash them and dry them where no one could see. Asla ever undakoodu akkada basically aresedi ala cheppedi ma mommy. So adi vaadinappudu we had it was not at all comfortable and we developed rashes as well. So it was very difficult. So later we used pads which came with many promises. So but disposing them was again a problem because they had this plastic lining that could not be flushed. So we had to wrap them in a paper and dispose them carefully. So which became yet another issue. Moreover, during days of excess flow, it became very difficult to manage and very difficult to dispose them. So చాలా సార్లు మేము ఎన్నో excuses చెప్పి స్కూల్ డుమ్మా కొట్టిన రోజులు కూడా ఉన్నాయి. So I know the feeling. So even today in many parts of our country, a girl misses school because she does not have the access to safe menstrual hygiene. And చాలా మంది అమ్మాయిలకి వాళ్ళ బాడీ గురించి మాట్లాడడానికి చాలా ఇబ్బందిగా ఉంటుంది, చాలా embarrassing గా ఉంటుంది because of the lack of the awareness and hesitation to speak openly And many girls, they go through irregular periods without understanding why. And many do not understand the physical and psychological imbalances. And this is why exactly initiatives like Suharth Shakthi campaign become so important. I feel very proud to be part of this campaign because the Suharth Foundation is creating organic, safe pads that are non-allergic and easy to dispose of, while also working towards real solutions towards awareness, education, and sustainable hygiene practices. Their efforts are building systems that can reach every girl, not just in cities but in villages, schools, and communities across the country. Along with distributing organic pads, they are also helping girls experience comfort, hygiene, and confidence during their periods. Most importantly, it is also educating girls about a healthy cycle and about hormonal changes during menstruation and the precautions they need to take to avoid complications later in life. I feel this is very important point because a lot of institutions and very few parents actually talk about this. Because it also helps them to understand the changes they may experience in their thoughts and feeling during this time. I'm very happy that the Suharth Foundation goes beyond providing organic pads and also educates young girls about the care that every girl child needs during menstruation, which is indeed a blessing that carries generations forward. 1 million vision uninterrupted, 1 million future strengthened, 1 million girls who will have a normal healthy lifestyle even during periods. As the face of the Suharth Shakthi campaign, I would like to take this forward not just as a supporter, but as a voice that stands for every girl who deserves access to safe hygiene, proper awareness, and the freedom to grow without fear or hesitation. Let this forum not just be a discussion, let it be the beginning of the movement. A movement towards a stronger, healthier, and more confident India. Thank you so much.
what? You have to be twice as good to go half as far. And you will be standing in the same place, just running. So the point is that women go through these difficulties primarily because we are made, biologically very different. And India also, like I want to alert you to this fact. Like we've heard a lot about women going through menstruation, etc. But it's very important to understand that India is at a very particular brilliant position that if we can leverage, we can really take it to the heights that it deserves. I don't know how many of you know that in India, when a country moves from developing to a developed world, in the closing I'd like to say I saw some TV debate recently. There were two women arguing. One was saying, if menstrual leave is granted to women, it becomes obvious that she is menstruating, so people will look at her. And she may be discriminated against because she loses that kind of time. Whereas the other woman was arguing that we are in a changing phase of the society where we are openly discuss. So I want you to now start paying attention to the two sides of the coin, because never will we ever agree on one thing in this diverse country with complex problems that we have. So kindly stick to your side, spend time spreading awareness and convincing not just men or institutions, but our own fraternity like women, because that woman sitting there arguing that let's not discuss this, let's not talk about menstruation, because we will not grow up the ladder to the corporate world. So spread awareness, talk to your own fraternity, talk to girls, talk to men, talk to the society, talk to the country, talk to the world. But do it in a very subtle, non-intrusive and a brilliant way, because we...
Gathering is it's a very heavy phrase which alludes to a very long lecture. I am here to speak for 30 seconds or less and get off the stage. On behalf of course, this is not an event. I wanted to make that abundantly clear. All the credit, all the limelight, Mr. Eesha deserves that from Suharth Foundation. But we are very happy to be the host, the venue partner for the event. Just a couple of words. Tomorrow is Ugadi. Ugadi is a combination of two words, Yuga and Adi. It's a beginning of a new era, new year. I hope, Hiteshi, if you are listening to me, and you should listen to me, that don't stop with the conversation here. This is it's a very, very important theme to be left out with just one conversation. And I'm actually a very great votary, I'm a great supporter, I'm a great evangelist for women leadership. I believe thanks to their emotional intelligence and their congenital nurturing ability, women tend to become great leaders than when you see what toxic men can do across the world. There is enough evidence of destruction that is happening. So I think women deserve a huge round of applause for just being what they are. I want to end by saying I've had the great honor of listening to Dr. Shanta, one of India's finest oncologists. I met her in 2009, 2010. I was working just behind IIT Madras, and that's where, very close to IIT Madras, is where the Geetha Cancer Institute was. And what she said in a conference, I remember, and I remember for the rest of her life, the rest of my life. She said, when a woman takes care of herself, she's taking care of the world. So that's the kind of responsibility that women have. You're not just caregivers for yourself, you're also caregivers for the world. And I'm going to end by saying a fantastic quote, which I keep repeating. The quote talks about the power of women. It says, God is the mother of destruction, but mother is the God of creation. Let's respect women for all their contributions to the world.
Rights and debacles, problems and other things. Now the Supreme Court says, let us make both of them be equal in respect of their employment. So, what to be done? In some states, they gave leave during that 3 days or 4 days. I think in Bihar it is given. we put a proposal before Andhra Pradesh also. But in Andhra Pradesh, previously a policy decision is taken to provide these pads. But in Telangana it is not done. Awareness is needed. And that connects, ma'am, this question is for you, Eesha, ma'am. A critical part of policy implementation is public understanding, correct? How can media and public discourse help remove stigma and ensure that this order is understood as a health and dignity issue rather than a sensitive topic?
So, party to the whole thing. So one way of doing it, let's say in urban sectors, of course, getting the mother involved with the school activities and getting the earlier, not at the age of 10, but maybe at 8, 9, get the mothers involved, get them talking to them. Because the girls at that age are not going to come and talk to teachers. They're not going to come and talk to the principals. So let's start the talking happening at, so the two people who they talk to are the mothers and the friends. So if these two parties can be trained to be able to talk back and give explanations, somewhere where they can get the information, a mobile source, a YouTube channel, something like that where information is available. I'm sure it's available, but if it can be just like, if you have questions, take a QR code, put up in the schools.
And that's how we have seen the video also, and Hiteshi and the foundation are reaching out to more government schools. Yeah, thank you all. And already I got a reminder about the timer. I'll take the question correct to the right to the educator. If we look at Telangana today, what are the biggest barriers to implementing menstrual hygiene infrastructure across schools? Is it funding, mindset, or policy coordination?
Well, thank you, Amir sir, for giving me this question. Many forums like this will not bring any change, but one thing is certain, that the 3 M's will remain. That is the menarche, the menstruation, and the menopause. If this has to be addressed from the grassroots level, the first thing, another M needs to be changed, that is called the mindset. The mindset to accept, the mindset to understand, the mindset to create awareness. Undoubtedly, at the schools, right from the age of 9 through 15, 16, and if it is at secondary school up to the age of 18, it is mandatory that all the members, all the key stakeholders of the school have to undergo a training called as SHW, which is being promoted by the Government of India, and even the NCERT and CBSE mandates. It's called as the School Health and Wellness. I can surely say that both of us are advocates of SHW. We are trained by UNESCO.
We are trained from UNESCO.
We are trained by UNESCO to train many trainers. And the first 5 chapters or the modules of SHW are dedicated to menstrual health, women health and hygiene, children's health and hygiene. Yes, what I speak about is advocacy of creating awareness. How? One, every school has a health counselor who has to promote these kind of programs across all classrooms. Include the women who are parents, include the stakeholders who are teachers, even the community and even the management and the teachers. Everybody has to be educated.
Discussion, we are making a forum to talk about it. So I think first let us understand the facts. We heard from evening so many people talking about things like, yes, there are around 500 menstrual cycles, you have menarche, you have menstruation, you have menopause. 500 menstrual cycle means 12,000 at least menstrual pads which are needed, that is minimum. Means where are they going? What is going to the ecosystem? So is it a fact that every woman has pain? No, not necessarily. Let us understand the fact. Yes, they do have menstruation, that is a fact. Yes, pads are needed, that is a fact. But we have evolved from cotton pads to the plastic pads. Yes, 90% of plastic pads, the commercial pads have plastics, that is a fact. And also that they all have toxins in them, like all dioxins and phthalates, that is a fact. What is happening to the sanitary napkins? It's not incinerators because it's going to be in the schools but not in the regular house. So they have to be put into the dustbin, and how they are going to be disposed is another part for the government to look at it. But when we look at it, one fact we have to understand, it's a man-made disaster in the health of a woman thing. The fact is 50% of world is made up of women. The fact is that in the last 2 decades, 2.5 decades, right now we are sitting on a iceberg called cancer. 1 in 4 men and women have cancers in today's time. That is the statistics of India, 1 in 4. It looks very staggering and say, is it real? But look back and look into your family itself, you have cancer. It's because of the endocrine disrupting chemicals which are there in the pollution which we have created. We have created a system which has plastics. We talk about plastics, but we're not talking about dioxins or whatever we use for the face, cosmetics and everything which releases dioxins or phthalates or anything which can lead to. We are talking about cancer in the last. We spoke, Mrs. Usha talking about PCOS. Yes, PCOS is a part of the same thing. And endocrine disrupting chemicals leading to fibroids and endometriosis and endometrial cancers and everything to do with it. So when we talk about plastics which are there outside, we talk about don't drink in hot cups which are having plastics because it's not good. Then why are we allowing these plastics to be near the genital tract and absorb from the genital tract? But what are the alternatives? The facts are, when we talk about the cost, that's where people buy these sanitary napkins. Organic sanitary napkins are expensive, that is also a fact.
Namaskar Mandi. Today we are launching Suharth Shakthi Forum 2026. That is India's biggest dialogue forum on sustainable menstrual hygiene with support of 3 powerful pillars: advocacy, awareness and access. And we are so glad to have people like Manjula Garu support us. She is already running a huge campaign on no pop, so no plastic on private, which is an additional support for people like us who have been instrumental in fighting for these causes and reaching underprivileged girls and women in remote areas, tribal areas and across the country. This is not only a matter of a state or a city or a town. This is a matter of entire nation. This is a matter of entire world, because the plastic that we're using, the pads that we're using is not only causing damage to human body, to women's, it is an environmental issue. That is the way it is causing huge impact on the entire world, because one single pad takes 1,000 years to decompose. I know I've been saying that time and again, but that is a real impact of these pads. So this movement is just the beginning. We will be making sure that no girl is leaving school because of not having a single pad. No girl is missing school because of dignity. No girl is scared to talk about periods, and periods is no more a taboo. We are doing awareness, we also give access, and definitely we'll do advocacy.
First introduction.
Yeah, so the forum dialogue is the first introduction. We have been doing this for 1 year. So we completed 1 year. That is the journey we showed in the video. 1 impactful year, and we have done 1.5 lakh plus free distribution to girls in underprivileged areas. Yes, Telangana government came forward. They supported us for 2 schools. PM Shri schools they supported us for, and we were able to help 1,000 plus girls through that. And I'm sure that was only a demo thing from the Telangana government, and we'll do much more together.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge. Definitely, I think I should be doing it. Government should come forward, and that is why people like Jayesh, Ranjan, Garu, and everybody who came today were there to ensure the policymakers are making policies to make that thing happen. Yes.
మెన్స్ట్రల్ హైజీన్ గురించి మనం అందరము మాట్లాడుతూనే ఉంటాము, కానీ సస్టైనబుల్ మెన్స్ట్రల్ హైజీన్ గురించి మాట్లాడటానికి ఈరోజు సుహార్త్ ఫౌండేషన్ తరఫున సుహార్త్ శక్తి ఫోరం అనేది స్టార్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అంటే ఏంటి అంటే ఈ ప్లాస్టిక్స్ అనేవి మనం అందరం తెలుసు అది చాలా చెడ్డవి, అన్నీ తీసేయాలి, దేశంలో చాలా దేశాలలో అవి బ్యాన్ చేయడం కూడా జరిగింది. మరి వీటన్నిటి గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు మరి ప్రైవేట్ ఆర్గన్స్ దగ్గరగా అంటే గర్భాశయానికి దగ్గరగా ఎందుకు ప్లాస్టిక్స్ని పెట్టుకుని దాని గురించి మనం మాట్లాడటం లేదు. ఈ ప్రశ్నలు లేవనెత్తడానికి మాత్రమే ఇలాంటివి అవేర్నెస్ అనేది చాలా అవసరం. సో ఈ అవేర్నెస్ గురించి టుడే ఈజ్ ద ఫస్ట్ డైలాగ్ విచ్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్. ఈవెన్ దో ఇండివిజువల్లీ చాలామంది చాలా రోజుల నుంచి మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నాము. ఈ రోజుల్లో మనము ఒవేరియన్ క్యాన్సర్స్ కావచ్చు, గర్భాశయ క్యాన్సర్స్ కావచ్చు, పీసీఓఎస్ కావచ్చు, ఎండోమెట్రియోసిస్, ఫైబ్రాయిడ్స్, రికరెంట్ ఇన్ఫెక్షన్స్, అక్కడ ఎలర్జీస్, ఇంకా డయాబెటీస్, ఇలా ఎందుకంటే పీసీఓఎస్ నుంచి మళ్ళీ డయాబెటీస్, ఈ అన్నిటికీ కారణము ఈ ప్లాస్టిక్స్ అనేది ఎప్పుడైతే అలవాటు తెలిసిందో లాస్ట్ 2 to 3 decades నుంచి మనము మానవాళిగా మనం చేసిన తప్పు చూపుతో మనకి మనమే హాని చేసుకుంటూ ఈ ఎర్త్ అనే భూమిని కూడా మనము హాని చేస్తున్నాము. ఈ ప్లాస్టిక్స్తో ఎంత ప్రాబ్లం జరుగుతుందో ఈకోసిస్టమ్కి కూడా మనకు తెలుసు. సో ఆల్టర్నేటివ్స్ గురించి ఉమెన్కి చెప్పడము అంటే ఈ ఆర్గానిక్ శానిటరీ నాప్కిన్స్ కావచ్చు, రీయూజబుల్ శానిటరీ నాప్కిన్స్ కావచ్చు, కాటన్ ప్యాడ్స్ కావచ్చు, అలాగే పీరియడ్ ప్యాంటీస్ కావచ్చు, మెన్స్ట్రువల్ కప్స్ కావచ్చు, ఈ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్స్ ఉన్నాయి అని చెప్పడం, వాటిని ఎలా యూజ్ చేయాలో చెప్పడం, దాన్ని ఎంతమందికి ఇప్పుడు మనం ట్యాగోర్ సినిమా అన్ని సినిమాలు మాట్లాడతాం, ఒకళ్ళు వెళ్తే ఒకళ్ళు వెళ్ళి నలుగురికి చెప్పండి అని. సో ఇలాంటి మనం మాట్లాడినప్పుడు అందరము దీని గురించి ఒక అబ్బాయికి ఒక లైఫ్లో వాళ్ళ సిస్టర్ ఉండొచ్చు, మదర్ ఉండొచ్చు, గర్ల్ ఫ్రెండ్ ఉండొచ్చు, వైఫ్ ఉండొచ్చు, కూతురు ఉండొచ్చు, 5గురికి వన్ బాయ్ ఆల్సో కెన్ మేక్ ఎ డిఫరెన్స్. సో ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఈ నో పాప్ క్యాంపెయిన్ అండ్ ఈ కాన్వర్జేషన్ ఏదైతే వీళ్ళు ఆర్గానిక్ శానిటరీ నాప్కిన్స్ ఇస్తున్నారో దాన్ని అందరికీ అవేర్ చేయాలనే దాని మీద ఈ ఫౌండేషన్ ముందుకు అడుగు వేస్తుంది. ఇది ఫస్ట్ కాన్వర్జేషన్ విచ్ దే ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్. బట్ 1 year నుంచి ఇది నడుస్తూ చాలామంది గర్ల్స్కి స్కూల్స్లో అవేర్నెస్ ఇవ్వటము, వాళ్ళకి ప్యాడ్స్ ఇవ్వటం జరిగింది. బట్ కాస్ట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్నెస్ చేయటం అనేది గవర్నమెంట్ షుడ్ కమ్ ఫార్వర్డ్. ఇప్పుడు వ్యాక్సిన్స్ మనం ఫ్రీగా ఇస్తున్నాము, మీరు అన్నట్టుగా రైస్ మనకి తక్కువకి వస్తున్నాయి. కాబట్టి ఫ్యూచర్లో డెఫినెట్గా శానిటరీ నాప్కిన్ కూడా హ్యూమన్ రైట్గా అనుకున్నప్పుడు వాటి కాస్ట్ కూడా గవర్నమెంట్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి తగ్గే అవకాశాలు చాలానే ఉన్నాయి. వి జస్ట్ హోప్ దట్ ఇట్ విల్ గో ఫార్వర్డ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Rebba Garu has already been instrumental in helping girls and doing some social campaigns, but we were so fortunate and lucky to have her. The moment I told her about this, Tanu chala happy ayyaru. She was like, I will definitely come forward and help girls and be a part of Suharth Shakthi Forum, not only for this event, not only for this dialogue, but even in the future. She has promised that she will be there for our journey for a very long time to come ahead, and definitely we are very glad and very happy that Eesha Rebba, we have Geetha, Bhaskcer, Garu come forward. We have Sivaranjani ji, we have Jayesh Ranjan ji come as a chief guest, DGP, Abhilasha Bhaskcer, Charu, Karna Gopal ji. We have a lot of people. The list is endless. I definitely can't cover everybody's name, but we are so glad that a lot of men as well were there in the room to support us for this cause. And this is just only the beginning. See, what you start with pure intention, pure intent, definitely would take you to places. Definitely, not only you, it would start a movement which would definitely ensure a change. So change is what we're looking for in the mentality, in the process, in the way the word is running, and in the way the people are using these pads. So definitely.
Digital platform ద్వారా అవేర్నెస్ తీసుకొచ్చే అవకాశం ఉందా?
Digital platform ద్వారా definitely currently even like the City Light News వాళ్ళు మాతో పార్ట్నర్ అయ్యి they are helping us in ensuring we reach more and more media. అలాగే చాలా మంది మీడియా ఛానల్స్, న్యూస్ ఛానల్స్ కూడా ముందుకు వచ్చారు. But definitely if you have influencers on the platforms, people who have great reach, definitely that will help you in ensuring more and more people learn about this and more people talk about this. So yeah. Thank you.